And Australian Surf Life Saving Championships, this is one of the real traditional events. This goes back to when surf life saving began. These reels you see on the beach is how every rescue used to be affected. Watch the explosions. The beltman jumps into the belt. The reel has to be picked up. The breaker's released. See the line already being fed out. But the man that knows more about this than I'll ever know, he's forgotten more than I know, Mark Rayburn.
Darryl, the open belt, this is how rescues were done throughout Australia through the very early days of lifesaving and through till about the 30s, 40s. Then the skill in that was, in fact, what lifesavers, what lifeguards used to do when they'd go down on beach patrol. Now, that's the reelman doing the work. He controls how much line. Stephen Fry from Northcliffe on Ryan Dunn's reel. They control how much line the beltman gets. But what the lifesavers used to do years ago, particularly when there were people during the week as we look at the field, was that what they used to do was if there was a rescue on, they would say to a member of the public, here, you take this, you do that, you give me line. And what used to happen was they would go out, collect the person to be rescued, put their hand up, and then they would ask what they tell the people beforehand, when I put my hand up, you pull me in. Now that led in itself to some tragedies. Now he stopped paying out, the reason being that he doesn't want to give the beltman too much line, because more line, more resistance.
I was just about to say, my only question in the whole event is that you don't want too much line because you've got to tow it, it gets heavy, it sinks to the bottom.
Darryl, if these guys get hit, 200 metres of waxed cotton line on those timber reels. Now, when they get out there, that's the Cronulla. Now, he's probably on Adam Weir or Daniel McClellan's reel. But when he gets out there, the beltman, they are pulling this 200 metres of line. Now, it's got beeswax on it. It's cotton line. The idea of the beeswax is this. It's cotton twine. When that gets heavy and falls to the bottom, that will pick up sand. With beeswax on it, it stays smooth, doesn't pick up sand, so therefore less weight. The more they get hit, the more they're pushed back, the more line the first linesman gives them, the heavier it gets. So the skill in this is not just the swimming, but it's the four people on the beach. Can I just go back to the rescue situation? When members of the public would haul in the beltman and the rescuer, many times they would haul in too fast, they'd pull them down waves and cause all sorts of trouble, but there was no other technology at the time.
Now, we talk about the Taplin Relay being about prestige and honour, but there's certainly a lot of prestige about winning this event too, Mark. The clubs love to win this event.
Well, you know, this was, I suppose, until Grant Kenny won a double in 1980, this used to be the Ironman competition as far as the traditional. Now, that's where they're going. That's a line that there are 9 boys there, 9 competitors. And this was where it's at. Sean Davis, Surfers Paradise, has come second 2 or 3 years in a row. The guy that's beaten him, 1 year it was Daniel McClellan, 1 year it was Adam Weir, who has come out of winning 3 consecutive junior, that's under 18, and 1 a senior.
So it's Sean Davies actually leading it out there. So he's leading it out there, trying to get that elusive gold medal. But it looks like Daniel McClellan's sitting right in behind him, and another Cronulla competitor, possibly Adam Weir.
Well, it'll either be Adam Weir or Tannen Good. I mean, how good's this? Cronulla have had 3 in the Taplin, they've got 3 in the belt. Let me show you what happens to a surf belt when they get hit by waves. If they are going in a straight line, not getting hit by waves, the surf line stays like that. If they get hit by waves and they get knocked around by waves in this area, if the first linesman is giving them lots of line, it goes like that. So when the swimmer has to start swimming, the first thing they've got to do is they've got to pick a line up from that angle to get it like that angle. So your first 4 or 5 strokes, you're not moving forward, all you're doing is picking your line up, and this is what will happen with these guys now. What the linesman will do, if we get a look at the linesman, they will stop paying out. Now, see, he's bleeding. That's from the force of the line, but he's not giving him any line. The reason he's not giving him any line is the guys are getting belted, and what's happening, as I said before, their line is sinking. There is also a sweep going this way. Now, as that sweep goes from right to left, their line naturally goes, it's bowing down and it's also bowing across ways. What that means is when these guys get out, they may have to swim back at their buoys that way, and if they've got to do that, they have to pick that line up and tow an enormous amount of weight. Now it's power.
Yeah, it looks like Sean Davies still leading it out there. And we look at his style, he's got a very classical style. He's stroking quite slow and his kick is virtually non-existent at the moment because he's not getting the chance to get into his consistency because of the waves.
One of the things too with this line dropping to the bottom, if you imagine swimming in a pool, you put a bucket behind you and tie it on with a piece of rope, and your body is being pulled, not straight, but it's being pulled down. Now that's the reason you can't kick, because just behind you is a surf line, and all you do is tangle your feet up. Tell you how I used to train. Well, I used to train with Nev Bruff, one of the great swing and surf coaches. He used to train me when I was going well. He would tie a 10-litre chlorine bucket on the back of me, and I'd do 50s freestyle. As soon as that started to go strong, he threw half a brick in. And what they're going through now is half a brick with a chlorine bucket. That's exactly what they're going through.
And I bet you held at least sub-30s for those, Mark.
Living legend. Now, As that now what the guys have done is they have been swept down. They've all had to go down this way. Now, I said before, when they have to turn and get out and swim back against the cans, they're going that way, but they are also pulling up a line that is bowed down like that. A lot of work to do. This is where it is a strength event.
And of course, back in the days of Dawn Fraser, she used to do a lot of training with a bucket behind her, and there's rumours of 44-gallon drums, so she was certainly doing it tough back in those days.
Well, again, it's all about resistance work, and that's exactly what these guys are going. Now, the reason he's not kicking, you can see that line now, the reason he's stopping and doing like that is he's saying, where's my course? And look, as opposed to swimming in a surf race where you've got total control, swimming in this, it is very, very hard work. Now, that looks like it might be Cameron Dixon, Half Moon Bay, Victoria. If he can pick that off, there's two Cronulla guys being belted. Now, that looks like Dixon, Half Moon Bay. If that's him, that is a fantastic swim. Now, look how slow he's going. If he was in a surf race without that resistance, he'd be flying.
Well, that's an upset, beating the likes of Daniel McClellan and Adam Weir. Yep, he's taken it out, Half Moon Bay.
There it is, the Australian Championship. What about that? Where is Half Moon Bay?
In Victoria.
Melbourne.
I mean, Melbourne, what a fantastic effort. Unbelievable effort. He's beaten the best surf belt swimmers in Australia, in Good, in McClellan, Adam Weir. Take your pick. Second spot.
Here we go. Cronulla now ready to touch out. McClellan goes up. Muffy puts his arm up, and he's got the silver medal. And there's the bronze medal goes up. Is that the Alexandra Headlands? No, Chugan cap it is. It's a Chugan cap.
David Bates from Chugan finished second yeah, there's our winner. Now, just a fantastic hit. Sean Davis obviously didn't pick it right. Now, that's his real crew. Believe me, they had as much to participate in this as he did.
There's the belt. There's
now,
the belt.
See that little pin there? If we go down again, he's got a little pin in that. You hear this saying called pull the pin. That's what pull the pin means. If he pulls that little pin in there, it automatically releases. If you get in trouble and pull that pin, there's the pin. If you're in danger, I said about members of the public hauling these guys in. If you're in danger, you pull the pin, the belt pops off, explodes, and they can haul it back, and then he can just swim in. So, I mean, Half Moon Bay, stand proud.
Okay, let's wrap it up, Cameron Dixon, hero today, Half Moon Bay in Victoria. Daniel McClellan from Cronulla, New South Wales takes a silver, and third went to David Bates from the local club Chugan here in Queensland.